Okay, so I've tried like 5 times to review the movie 30 minutes or less, and actually probably more than 5 times. But the movie just is so blah that I didn't have anything to say about it. I tried. I really tried. I paid the $1.20 at Redbox. I watched it. It's blah. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. There's just nothing for me to say. So I thought maybe I'd try to talk about something that I'm passionate about. And that is video games. But this is a movie review channel. So I'm going to talk about movies based off of video games. And the first one that comes to mind is the Super Mario Bros. Movie, which came out when I was like a kid. I remember going and seeing it and like trying to be like, oh yeah, that's from the, oh, that's Yoshi and that's that. I remember it had Dennis Hopper and John Leguizamo played Luigi, and there was another guy who played Mario. And Princess Peach was called Daisy, which was actually from Super Mario Land. It's like they took all these it's like they took video game facts and they gave them to a guy who writes a story, and they use it to like cobble together something really, really stupid. But it still did well enough, you know, people still watched it, and it's kind of a cult classic now. Kind of, but not really. Nobody, I wouldn't say it's a cult classic. People remember it. It's like an icon from history. But they still do that kind of thing. I always think it's weird. It's like, I know that movies, part of like the whole idea of making a movie is making some money off of it, but some of these ideas are just really, really, really bad. I don't watch horror movies, but I did see the first Resident Evil movie, and as far as I could tell, it's not anything like the first Resident Evil game, or really any Resident Evil game. And my worst thing in video game movies is when they have to like mimic the thing from the video game, like shot for shot. Like if it's like a first-person shooter, like there was House of the Dead, and I remember in the trailer for that, they showed the first-person point of view, like with the guns and shooting. It's like it's insulting to me as like a both movie aficionado and a video game player. I also feel like I have to mention the whole Alien versus Predator phenomenon, because Alien was a movie and Predator was a movie, and then they made a computer game called Alien versus Predator, so it's a game based off of 2 movies. And sometimes it's bad to take a movie and turn it into a video game, but nowadays it's like the standard. It's like it comes out whenever a movie comes out. There's a video game that goes along, and it's normally a pretty crappy, forgettable video game. But here's the thing, Alien vs. Predator came out way after the movies came out, and it was actually a pretty decent video game, where they used the trademarks and came up with a good game. But then the funny thing to me is, in like 10 years later, they make a movie based off of a video game that was based off of 2 different movies. And then there was a sequel to it. It's just so weird to me. It's like we're plagiarizing and copying and pasting so much that we forget like where it actually comes from. I reviewed the Mortal Kombat movie. That was one of the ones that I reviewed on this channel. And again, it's like the characters, they really don't have anything to do with the game. And the like finish him and stuff like that, which was of course appealing to me. It's still stupid pandering where it's like, yeah, they say that in the video game, and now you said it. It's silly. They were supposed to make a Halo movie. I remember that, and I think Peter Jackson was supposed to direct it. Luckily, I think that fell through. I think they even were supposed to make like a World of Warcraft movie. It's like I don't know. Like the comic books worked well. They did like Spider-Man and all that stuff, and it worked well taking comic book characters and making them into movies. But I feel like comic book nerds got mad at some of the inconsistencies, but they're still happy that their characters got out and for a bigger media. But like, I don't feel like you need to take the video games. Like there's Max Payne, that was another one. I actually didn't see that one. And Hitman, I didn't see that one. I played both the games, but it's so insulted that like they try to make it into a movie. It's just like, oh man, it's a cool game and they're cool characters, and you don't have to make it into a movie. I'm trying to think of a really good example of a good movie that was based off a video game. Like the closest thing would be Resident Evil because they're successful. But I don't know. I saw a weird knockoff Mega Man movie. I think it was like a college project or something. And that was really silly. But it was close. It was at least close. That's the thing is like, if they ever did something that was like gritty and took it serious, but like not campy and cheesy, like just a good video game movie, then I would not be so insulted. But like, they're always just like silly video game movies. I don't think there's a single movie in my actual collection that's a video, like based off of a video game. You know, that the thing was originally a video game and then they made it into a movie, which is weird because I really love movies and I really love video games. So that's what I think about that. So that's a better subject than talking about this stupid Redbox movie that was forgettable. Video game movies. If I forgot to say anything, I'm sorry. Hopefully whatever movie I decide to review next week is not a horrible idea, so I can give you a more coherent video. But until then, I love you guys, and I'll see you next week.